situation, the better your story. Let me tell you something. Sometimes all we want to do is get out of it. But don't you know that you can grow in the midst of your storm? Come on, somebody. That you can come full blossom in the midst of a hurricane. Sometimes life can have your life can be upside down. But when you come out of that thing, your story is greater.
Ooh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You've grown. Come on, somebody. You have enlarged yourself. You're not the same person, yet you are the same person. Come on. Tell your neighbor you're better.
I'm better.
I'm wiser. That's why I believe that Marvin Sapp got that thing from. He says that I'm stronger, I'm better, I'm wiser. When you begin to understand that weeping may endure for a night, but trouble. Why would I say it like that? Trouble don't last always.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
Weeping may endure for that, but joy cometh in the morning. Come on.
Yes.
But I just thought about when I got to that point, I said, listen, guess what? Trouble don't last always. Sometimes you got to understand, but during your trouble, you got to know who you are. You got to know whose you are. And you got to know that God will never put you into anything that he won't bring you through and out.
Amen.
God will never put you into something that he won't bring you through and out. There are some things that are going on in your life. You worried about coming out of them. Tell your neighbor, I'm going to stand still while I go through.
I'm going to stand still while I go through.
Because when I stand still while I go through, I learn how to trust him a little bit. I learn how to thank him for what he's doing in my life. I learn how to embrace failure. I told y'all the story about the time when I saw Les Brown and he had been to my salon and I lost my salon. And I ran into him in Atlanta and he told me, he said, get on the elevator, dude, man. How you doing? How you shop? I was like, he said, what? I said, it's cool. He said, what do you mean? I had to close it. You close your shop? He said, yes, I closed my shop down, man. Things didn't work out like I thought it was going to work out. He said, oh, really? I said, okay. So I was wanting the conversation to end right there. Number one, there were people on the elevator listening to our conversation because I didn't want to get on the elevator with him because it was a crowded elevator. We were in Atlanta at the Bronner Brothers Hair Show, and he was trying to get me to get on. He was doing some speaking up at the Bronner Brothers, and I was, I'm from Miami, so hey, I remember you. I was like, oh, I remember me now. I'm going through some things. Things are happening in my life that are uncontrollable. He said, get on the elevator. And the funny thing about it was, when he told me to get on the elevator, instead of looking at him, I looked at the people. The people was like, it's already crowded. Why you got to get on the elevator? And I'm trying to tell him, it's okay. I'll wait for the next one. He said, no, get on the elevator. And when I got on the elevator, he started talking. That's when I said, Then we got up there. I thought he was going to be quiet. I said, okay, that's enough. Let's don't talk about this no more. Then he said, I'm doing a seminar on the third floor. Come and walk with me. Walk with you. I'm going through some stuff right now. I don't want to talk to anybody. What's going on? He said, get off the elevator. I got off the elevator. He stood there. And he said, I'm going to give you some information that Fortune 500 companies pay me thousands and thousands of dollars for. He says, I'm going to charge you nothing today. He said, I'm on my way to class. If you just listen to me and pay attention, I'm going to tell you something that will bless your life. I said, oh, okay, all right. Because I just want to get out your face because you don't understand. I'm embarrassed. Come on, somebody. I'm going through some stuff. I don't want to tell nobody. Come on, anybody here understand about being embarrassed?
Yes.
Anybody's ever had an embarrassing moment when you thought you should have been one place and God was trying to work something else out in your life and you were so crazy and stupid you wouldn't even listen to God? Come on in here. Because in the midst of your trouble is where God really wanted you to be at that time because he was trying to take you from another place to another.
Yes, he was.
But we hold on. And what he said, guess what he said? He said, hey, Ted, I want to tell you something. He said, you will never know success until you're able to embrace failure. He said, not go over it, not go around it, not go through it. He said, when you can look back at failure and squeeze it. Anybody ever had something in your life that you thought you'd never hug?
Yeah.
But your power came from when you turned around and grabbed it and hugged it. Even if you wasn't doing nothing but giving it confirmation, telling them you thought you was going to get it. You thought I wasn't going to make it, but I need to hug you because I'm still here.
Amen. 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 Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Yes, sir.
And what happened was, he said, when you embrace it, he said, out of your embracing failure is the nectar. Tell your neighbor the nectar.
The nectar.
That propels you to success. When you embrace failure, the stuff that come out of failure is what drives you to your success.
Amen.
There's something in your failure that will take you to your blessed place. There's something in the midst of your storm that will bring you to a place to have you understand why God took you through it.
Yes.
Some of us need to understand that the silence that we're in, that the silence that God is telling us to do is for our good. How many people went with me down the road the other day? That we was down the road at this church in Goose. I preached in the afternoon. And the funny thing that the lady said, who fell in love with the old light-skinned lady? The old light-skinned lady was the thing, wasn't she? I was like, Mama, it's the truth. Mama been with this ministry, bro, 52 years. Mama had been through about 10 preachers. 10 pastors had pastored this one church. But the greatest thing she told me that blessed my spirit was the fact that in the midst of her storm, she gave God a real praise. There was a storm that came through South Florida called Andrew. Andrew leveled Goose, Perrine, Homestead, everything south of the city of Miami was down. Beginning with Coconut Grove, come on. It worked its way from Coconut Grove because it came in right over there by Monty Trainers, didn't it? It came in right in Monty Trainers, wrapped up everything in Coconut Grove, and proceeded to go down south. Everything on US 1 going down was. The lady said, in the midst of that situation, that she understood God even the more. I wanted to know, why do we have problems? Understanding the difficulties in our life is what takes us to our blessed place. While she was understanding, she said that during this time, the church that they had was leveled. It was torn out to the ground. They found some tar and 4 poles and made them a makeshift tent. Because I know they didn't have no tent. I know they didn't have no tent material. The only thing you could get during a storm in Miami
Was tar.
is tar.
It's tar.
That's that blue stuff that's still on some houses today.
Well,
And that freaked me out. A couple of months ago, I did a flight. I came back flying in the airport, and when it swung out over the beach area and was coming back into the airport, I still saw blue tar. I said, people still got blue tar on their house. I couldn't do nothing but begin to thank God.
Amen.
Here I am worried about what I'm going through.
Amen.
There's still people still suffering from 2005.
Yes, Lord.
Wilma is still evident in their lives.
Yeah.
And the lady said that when the church was leveled, that there was a man who drove by and saw them out there trying to have church.
Amen.
He had been by a couple of times. He came by and he blessed them with the land. Come on, son.
My Lord.
Because where they were was across. Did you hear the story? Yeah. They was across the street.
Yeah.
He bought some property for them and gave them property to build their own church.
Ain't that something?
What she did was, before she said anything, she told him, said, listen, I thank God for Andrew.
Amen. Amen.
You've got to understand that it's imperative that you thank God for your storm. When you thank God for the things that are going on in your life. Read just a little bit for me and we can get out of here.
Now there was a certain man of Rotham Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, son of Jeroham, son